Good morning, welcome back to Morning at 10 TV, and today the big discussion is the countdown to the local council elections that are scheduled to take place this year on the 10th of July. So we're just a few days shy of that particular big day that we're all looking forward to. But just to bring you up to speed, it's been 17 years where we've been operating without the local council leaders. 17 years. Why then is it important for us? We've been surviving one way or another for the past 17 years. Why is it important for us to have it this time round? So in studio to discuss more about that and the preparations that are underway is the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, who is Justice Simon Mugenyi Byabakama. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Mara. Thank you.
Thank you so much. 17 years, sir. That's a long time. What are some of these factors that have led to us not having these particular elections for the past 17 years? The last one was in around 2001. What's happening?
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, viewers. First of all, it's true that it is 17 years since we last held elections for our LOC 1 chairpersons, which is very unfortunate and regrettable. But I think there were various factors, and one of those I was made to understand because I came into office in February last year. I understand one of those was the problem of lack of adequate funds, but now government has availed the funds, and we are ready to roll. Yes.
What other factor? Is it just the funding or lack of political goodwill? 17 years is a long time.
Well, I came into office, Mala, last year, as I said.
Yes.
And what I know is that government has been willing to have these elections conducted. Now, as to why it took 17 years, I think I'm not able to answer that one. But
Okay.
all I know
Yes.
that government is ready now to have those elections conducted. The Election Commission is ready. We have rolled out a roadmap, and we want to encourage the people to participate fully.
To participate fully.
Yes.
The first date that we were given to have this particular elections was January this year. And so we're now having it, you know, is it 5 months down the line? It's going to be in July, 10th of this particular year. Is it still the issue of funding? You seated on that throne of the Electoral Commission. Get real. What are some of these factors?
Well, you recall that this exercise ought to have taken place last year.
Yes,
in
it's
November.
last year brought to January and now it's July.
No, we never brought it to January.
Yes.
What I know is that when this exercise was suspended last year because of a court order, we went into trying to resolve the court case, which we finally did at the end of January this year. And then after that, having been given the go-ahead to continue the exercise, we required additional funds because the original budget had virtually been exhausted. Now, because the program was suspended and we had to resume and repeat some of these processes that we had carried out, we waited for additional funds from government. What prompted us to extend the period up to July was because we were waiting for additional funds. Now that they came, the funds were released, we are now able to proceed with the program, and that's why we have already started, we have already embarked on carrying out some of the activities leading up to polling on the 10th of July.
All right. Okay. You're talking about the funding factor. Are you in a position to tell us what's the budget for this particular elections?
Well, originally, you recall last year the budget was about 15 billion shillings, okay?
Right.
But because we have to redo some of these processes, we required an additional 6 billion or 6 or 7 billion shillings.
Right.
Right? Which was released to us, and we are able now to conduct the remaining part of the exercise so that we have it concluded.
So we're roughly speaking about 21 billion thereabout.
21 billion, that's right.
Okay, and that's sufficient.
Well, it will do.
It will do.
Yes.
It will do. There's this other controversial issue that has come to the fore, and this is the methodology as to how these elections are going to be done. And so voters or supporters will be expected to line up behind the candidate they, vouch for. We are still the only country in the world that is practicing the lining up method of elections. Is it still a budget factor? Or what exactly is it? Is it just because we've refused to move to what is democracy and the secret ballot route?
One, the basic tenet of conducting an election is the law.
Right.
All right? The law provides that elections for village LOC 1, LOC 2 chairpersons shall be by lining up. That is the law, which was passed by Parliament, which is comprised of representatives of the people. And we assume or presume that the people were consulted about this methodology before the law was passed. So we are following the law, period. And the law also says that for other elections, presidential, parliamentary, LOC 5, LOC 3, those shall be by secret ballot.
Right.
So that is the law.
That is the law.
That's the law.
A law that was set out and put in place many years ago. Yes? Yeah, many years ago.
I don't know when this amendment came into effect.
Yes.
I don't have
the dates, right?
Yeah, the dates, right. But all I know is that, yes, this provision of the law is on our books, and the Electoral Commission is required and mandated to conduct the elections in according to the law.
But what do you feel as the Electoral Commission? Do you still feel that we'll have free and fair elections with this method of lining up behind candidates as the Electoral Commission? Are you fully in support of this particular method?
The Electoral Commission is mandated to conduct elections, free and fair elections.
Right.
In accordance with the law. The feelings or the views of the Electoral Commission are immaterial. What is material are the aspirations of the people of Uganda.
But are you in a position to tell us?
The other representatives made a law requiring these elections be conducted in that manner. So be it. We as Electoral Commission, we are required to respect the wishes of the people and conduct those elections in accordance with what the law stipulates.
In accordance to what the law stipulates. So whether you're for it or not, you have to obey and abide by the law.
Absolutely.
You're quite political right there. We'd like to listen in to what diplomats who have been mandated to, have offices here in Uganda had to say about this particular method. Let's listen in. Okay, we seem not to have that clip yet, but we'll have it later on. So what they were particularly saying is the lining up method, especially for women and young people, it will subject them to a lot of coercion, intimidation. We still have issues of voter bribery. Will it still help us maintain peace, both at family level and local level, the village level? Because I'm thinking today, if, sir, you're part of the candidates and I was part of your greatest supporter behind the scenes, and on that day you see me lining up behind someone else, don't you think it will bring problems? But like you said, fine. Just on your views, I know you still say that the Electoral Commission has no say over it, but what security measures have you put in place just to ensure that the post-election effects are not felt when it comes to violence and this village is not being at peace?
I think the first thing we need to appreciate is the essence of democracy.
Right.
Democracy is about free choice. Each one of us have a choice to, we have the right to choose whom to represent, whom to vote for, whom to support, and whom not to support. So we are appealing to the people, the citizens of Uganda, that democracy should not be translated into enmity, into strife, into divisions, and so on and so forth. In any case, we normally know whom, even in the elections by secret ballot. I get to know, if we're in the same village, I know who Malaya supports.
Right.
And she supports my opponent.
Right.
But after the elections, we return to our normal lives. So we want to appeal to the people that let this not be a precursor to anything that disrupts our normal existence as village mates, as people have been collaborating with one another in whatever activities we've been carrying out in our homes, in our communities. It is about free choice.
Yes.
This is my choice. I have not supported you, period. And if you are a leader, a credible leader, once you are elected into office, you are expected to reconcile all the people so that you carry out what is expected of you as a leader in the area. Not to propagate divisions within your community or within your village.
Right.
So I want to appeal to the people that, look, this is a question of choice. This is a question of choice.
We know the government is watching, and just to remind them, just in case they missed this, just the other day, the Speaker of Parliament, Rebecca Kadaga, sat down with the 15 ambassadors, and this is what transpired. Let's take a look.
It contradicts international rules of good governance and democracy, because secret ballot is certainly preserving the rights better than lining up, if you compare the two systems. And talking about women's rights, which was a previous topic, I think we feel that possibly women could be intimidated.
We would just be interested in, especially now, I think we've heard just recently that they've compressed even the timing for the vote down to 30 minutes or something, which I think was originally a 2-hour window.
Coercion will not be because of lining up. Even during the ordinary elections, people were late on the way to the polling station, where they're going to have secret ballot, but they're way late on the way. Yes. I believe that there were possibly some ways to gather some funds, but we were never called upon to get the money together.
19th of April, the court in Mbale closed its proceedings. It is now no more than 2 months, and now the 60 working days time frame that is provided for by the Uganda Code of Judicial Conduct as a time frame within which the court should deliver its ruling has just been exceeded.
Thank you so much for that video. So we truly hope that the government officials are listening, and that next time round we have a secret ballot. I know it's an issue of finances, but if something is given priority, then finances will be found. So moving forward, let's speak about the preparations that are underway ahead of the 10th July elections. Actually, 3rd of July, because the Women Council elections will take place on the 3rd of July. What measures have you put in place to ensure that this time round things are done to 100%?
Well, thank you. First of all, the exercise of updating residents in the village registers started on 22nd of this month and ended on 25th of this month. And then the display went on from 26th to the 27th of this month.
Right.
And we have had all the 60,000 villages opened up for the residents to update. Those who did not have the opportunity to get registered last year, they were given this opportunity. Those who turned 18.
Yes.
From October last year.
So what numbers are we looking at?
Of residents?
Of residents in these villages. Which village has the highest number? What is the fraction we're looking at?
Sorry, I don't have those.
Okay, all right.
But what I know, we have 60,801 villages.
Yes.
Across the country. Now, each of those is a polling station. Each of those is a constituency in its own right.
Right.
Each one is supposed to elect their own chairperson. All right? So the program is ongoing well, and on 3rd of July, we expect the women to elect their leaders on their women council, village council. And then the main one is on 10th of July, when we expect the chairperson, LC1, to be elected. So far, from reports that we are receiving from our people in the field, everything is going on smoothly. So we anticipate this time that we shall have these elections take place. So remember, 3rd July is only next week.
Yes, it's only next week.
Yes.
Actually, it's literally the countdown.
Yes, yes.
Have you conducted civic education? Like you're saying, members of these villages need to be sensitized on the importance of keeping peace and maintaining peace, even if on that day you realized your friend is no longer your friend.
Yeah, we have made those endeavors. We have been going out on radio programs. I was, the other day, I was in Western Uganda, and we had a talk show for 2 hours on one of the radios. My other commissioners have also been doing the same. We have our field officers also in the various districts who have also been going on radio, sensitizing the people, publicizing this exercise. And I think the reception is very wonderful.
The reception is great.
It's very great.
We've been having issues with the political parties saying that if they're not facilitated financially, then they won't turn out to help the candidates rally and do their campaigns. Will this, in your opinion, affect the voter turnout on these particular dates, the 3rd and the 10th of July? Because I know also on your mandate, you're able to execute your duties seamlessly. If voters come, if voters don't come, then your roles are, compromised, so to speak. Do you think it will have an effect on the voter turnout?
The Electoral Commission does not have any say in how the political parties conduct their business.
Right.
But what I know, we have been appealing the political parties, our key stakeholders in these elections. Since this is a multi-party dispensation, the political parties are required to present their flag bearers for all these positions.
Correct.
And that's why we expect them to have their flag bearers ready on that day.
Okay.
Independents are also allowed to participate. But we are appealing directly to the people that, look, these elections are about you, the people. The leaders you are choosing are your leaders in your own localities.
Right.
The people with whom you'll be interacting on a day-to-day basis. The people who will be handling your disputes on a day-to-day basis. So please, come, turn up in big numbers.
And vote.
And vote.
Okay. We have a question for you from the ground. Andrew Chamagero, if you can hear me. Andrew Chamagero?
Yes, Mala, we are still in Kasangati. There are lots of questions here. Justice tusanyuse nnyo okulaba mu studio awo. Nyabubuuza.
Nzera nkyali ku kya stamp.
Amanya n'eddoboozi.
Amanya tumwebaze Naume. Nkyali ku kya stamp engeri gye baayawula obukiiko buno. Obw'abakyala n'obw'abakyamaani. Bannabakyala ne bakyamaani. Naye bwe tufuna ensonga zaffe. Nakuwandikira ebbaluwa gende ewa chairman chairman olumu tomusanze eyo omukubidde essimu genda ku poliisi twagala batereezeemu awo.
Okay. Ekyo kyekibuuzo kyo oyagala eyo ndowooze kale owaka secretary nawe obuuza
nze mbadde
amanya n'eddoboozi
kikomeko Wilberforce Moses
tunule mu kamera
just advising Mr. Byabakama baddeyo back to parliament etteeka lino liri so recent abantu laba temagana bijambye right now naye ate omusimbe nga twamusimbyeko owasimbye kumala tusaba mu church yemu omuzikiti gwe gumu tugenda kutemagana eno ku ground Byabakama you have security federal security eno wansi please go back to parliament mu debating ebintu bino mbitereze nebya age mbyongereko LC1 ne qualification
age machongereko myaka emeka
no like 40 LC1 ono kwanga oli muntu mukulu webuzibwako naye wano mutulede risk nene mwekuuma bakuwera ne convoy emoloka nya federi ku ground kiriyo so mudeyo go back to parliament
ensonga kale nono buuza
nange nalisabye kyali badde ng'endowooza nti balowooza ki nga bwe baga nti bagazetinga municipalities situmanyi kwe basinziira naye naffe tulaba mu bitundu eby'ebibuga abantu beeyongera buli kaseera ate seera emu gye tuyita LC1 abantu mwe bakola ki mwe batuukira lwaki tebafunawo enteekateeka eddamu n'esala ku seerozi ne zikendeera olw'obungi bw'abantu kuba buli kaseera babeera bakola ki beeyongera ekyo kireetawo insecurity ebeera nzibu okukola ki ebeera etawanya
erinnya n'eddoboozi
Ziwa Henry
mponzeka n'omukulu ono taata sembera
nga bwe ndi lwakwerinda abakulu mwatuga omuntu bwava gyava aje n'ebbaluwa
Tata tunule mu kamera.
omuntu gyava ngaze kusenga mu kitundu tugabe mu buyinja alina okujja n'ebbaluwa naye obuzibu obulimu nti bw'aba taze nayo w'okumutwala poliisi temukkiriza ate nawe ate nga buli muntu alina eddembe lye okuba mu ggwanga nga constitution bwegamba kakati awo akatwako bakatereze tukakole tutya oli teyeeyanjudde omukutte w'omutwala tolabawo ekyo ne kireeta insecurity mu kitundu tojja kugenda eri gye yavudde kuba taze na bbaluwa awantu awo wakyatutawaanya tukikolere ki omuntu obuteeyanjula nga azze mu kitundu ng'akakiiko k'ebyokulonda yes eddembe lye okubeera waayagadde naye ate bw'aba nga yaze talina na bimwogerako poliisi emugamba naawe kati ogenda okwesanga nga gy'omutute naye bamukugobeza tubatwalewa.
All right, Justice Byamukama, you have that. Those are the questions. Akatalekeka
amanya Serubula Steven. Njagala kubiriza government mulanga eno yaffe ya Museveni eno. Babaka ba parliament oba ba minister baveyo basomesa omuntu wa wansi kike ero siche inokola chairman tamanyi chakola defense tamanyi chakola but defense
tusigarenga tuli bakaka. Well, there you have it, Justice. I'm sure you actually have all the questions.
Those quite heated and passionate reactions. Your take, sir?
Thank you. In English or Uganda?
English or
English.
Any, feel free.
I thank you. I thank the viewers who have and the listeners who have raised those questions. First of all,
in 1 minute. Yes.
Chairman, not knowing what to do, I think that is the work of Minister of Local Government.
Right.
I believe they should have a program of sensitizing the chairpersons after they have been elected on what is required of them. Now, on the law, Electoral Commission going back to Parliament, it is, as I said, Parliament is comprised of MOPs, representatives who are elected by the people.
Right.
Now, if the people of Uganda feel that this law should be amended, let them contact their MOPs. Let them engage their MPs and say, look, we sent you to Parliament to represent us. We cannot accept this law. Can you have it amended?
So it's not your mandate as the Electoral Commission?
It's the people. Remember, laws are made by Parliament. Parliament is comprised of people who are elected by the people.
Right.
So it is the people to tell their MOPs that we need this law to be changed, not the Electoral Commission.
Okay.
Now, villages being split, that is again is not the work of the Electoral Commission. It's the work of the local governments on the ground to initiate the process of having villages that are so big to be split, and then the process goes up to Ministry of Local Government. Ministry of Local Government, if it okays the resolution of the local people,
right,
they inform the Electoral Commission. Now, finally, on the women, the chairman not being around, as I said earlier on, the committee, the village committee is comprised of 11 members. If you go to the chairman, is not around. He has a vice. One of the positions is vice chairperson. There is secretary for defense, secretary for information. So, and all these are supposed to work together. It does not mean that if chairman is not around and you need something,
then things should stop.
Exactly. Yes,
okay.
So you should go on and get all this sort of.
Thank you so much for coming on. Again, let us know the campaign period, 6th to 9th,
yes.
It is?
Yes.
So 6th to 9th, 9th done, 10th we are ready.
10th we are ready.
Okay. We'll be having the Women Council elections on the 3rd of July, so we'll keep you posted. It's still the countdown to the local council elections 2018, so stay tuned to that and follow through. My name is Malaki Vilaodera. Up next is Take Note.